Let's revere our school of fame, ever true, loyal through, for our colors white and blue. Dear Princeton High School, our love, our pride, we've always held you as our shining guide, our joys, our sorrows, hopes, dreams, and fears. We shared in PHS halls, we'll live through coming years.
The winner of tonight's game between the Beckley Flying Eagles and the Princeton Tigers will take on the Northfork Blue Demons, who was victorious here tonight, 86-72 over a fine basketball squad from Woodbridge, Virginia. And the ball game was really closer than that score indicates. It was really a ball game until the Woodbridge team lost their players via the foul route as they derricked about 3 of them going down the stretch. The Tigers coming in off the big win at Hinton the other night, and we understand now that the Tigers have won 15 out of their last 16 outings, and that's a pretty good show when you put it on the road like that. And Bob, welcome aboard. You have a nice Christmas.
Well, I sure did, Glenn, and a very enjoyable Christmas. I might mention one thing about that 15 of 16, that next Friday Princeton will play Mountain View here at the high school, and Mountain View is the only team to beat Princeton in the last 16 ball games.
Right you are. And we've got another one sitting alongside, and I'm sure Santa Claus was very good to her. Welcome aboard, Ann.
Thank you, Glenn. Yes, Santa Claus was sure good to be down around Hinton.
You weren't that good. How'd that happen?
I guess he forgot some of the bad tricks I pulled, and he came through.
All right, Ann, give me a test on your mic. You're a little low.
Test.
All right. I didn't get it.
Test.
All right. And we wanted to talk with you and a couple of your stalwarts, if we can get them up here. The Tigerettes are certainly to be acclaimed, as they've added generously to the Princeton High School trophy case in the last couple of years, and there's a lot of hardware out there and a lot of weight, and I guess probably we should charge you with that, because it probably we have to pay somebody to clean the dust off every now and then.
Yes, every now and then we do have to go out there. In fact, we're trying to get enough money up so that we can start a trophy case for the girl athletes to put their trophies in, separate from the boys, just to set them off to the side a little bit and give the girls a little more credit, and just show the difference in, not that the girls have got more than the boys, but a lot of times the trophy cases with the state championship and so forth, it's getting a little crowded out there. And so we're trying to get up enough money to have a trophy case.
Okay, and we got another gentleman sitting in with us tonight. We got Craig with us. And Craig, you watched the first game. You have not seen the Tigers yet this year. Can you give us a little insight what you expect to see?
Well, I have not been blessed with being able to see the Tigers play, although I feel like from the reports I've received, they are a ball club that is to be dealt with, and as always, Woodrow Wilson comes in, and they are never someone to be taken lightly. So I look to sit back and enjoy a fine evening of basketball while you fellas embarrass yourselves on the radio.
Okay, and we'll be back with more. First, let's pause 30 seconds for this. The Tigers are back in the dressing room with Coach Ralph Ball, getting the last few words of wisdom and game plan down pat. The Flying Eagles still on the floor going through the last few moments of warm-up procedures as they get ready to play basketball. And we will tell you right now, tomorrow night, we expect to have some special guests. Those of you who are on the line, in the pregame tomorrow night, we'll be talking with Coach Joe Allen. Joe is the dean of the Class A coaches around the area. And Joe will be here with a couple of his ball players to speak with us. And also at halftime then tomorrow night, we'll have...
I would say that they play much the same style as Princeton. A lot of pressure, good shooters from outside, if they hold true to form, as I've seen them in the past, I expect they play very much the same way Princeton does, and probably very little difference with their new coach.
Well, the Tigers the other night certainly put a lot of pressure on the ball. They were very exciting, very quick. The Tigers may be quicker than we've seen them in several years.
I would agree with that, Glenn. I would say that probably Jeff St. Clair and Mike Eads team up to be two of the quickest, most accurate guards in the state. I'm sure there are some who are quicker, but don't use their quickness nearly as effective as these two fellas.
Bob, we were watching the Tigers play, and as we watched the first game, the thing that entered our mind is that now whoever wins the second game will have to play Northfork tomorrow night. We'll get the opportunity to play Northfork, but I'll have to. The loser will play Woodbridge. Both of these teams played a very physical ball game. The Tigers are not a physical ball club.
Well, that's very true. This Woodbridge ball team came in here. It was a very tall team. I think they had an excellent player named Pierre DeMitt, and he was a fine ball player. They got into foul trouble, and two of their big men fouled out, and they had trouble. But that's exactly right. This is basically a very small, light, but with good size, with good height, but with not a lot of beef, not with a lot of size, weight-wise. They've got good size and height. They just don't have the physical abilities. And it would be very interesting to see them match up against either one of those teams. And that may be one of their weaknesses this year is the physical ball game.
Of course, they tell you that basketball is a non-contact sport, but I think that's somewhat of a misleading lie.
Well, that first ball game would indicate that there's something slightly wrong with that. I might mention that it would be, if at all possible, everyone from the Princeton area should attend this tournament tomorrow night, because the first game was an excellent ball game with two real good teams, with Woodbridge and Northfork. And also there are a number of coaches that we'll be seeing, and at least one that we won't be seeing for the first time in a few years. Henry Willis from Bluefield is here tonight. Paul Greer, who has a fine ball club at Greenbrier, he's probably one of the best ball clubs around. Don Knuckles from Mullins, who will not play Princeton this year. Princeton will play Pineville instead of Mullins. And of course, Jim Raines, a former Bluefield native, who's now coaching Woodbridge. And the best coach I know of is Jennings Boyd.
Jennings Boyd will be visiting with us at halftime.
That's right.
Tonight's game. So we're going to be back with more. The Flying Eagle just came out on the floor. We're waiting for the Tigers. So while we've got a chance, let's take 30 seconds for this. Okay, we welcome you to basketball now. We're introducing the Flying Eagles here, and the first one introduced is Jerry Edmonds. And starting with him will be Jeff Ball. I did have some sizes on these fellows. And Edmonds is 6 foot, Ball is 6'2.5" inches. Robert Green being introduced at 6'2" inches. Edmonds is a guard, Ball and Green will be on the wing. And Goodson will be on the other wing at 6'3", Dennis Goodman. And at the pivot will be Vernon Knight. And Knight is 6'3". So the Flying Eagle starting 6 foot. 6'2", 6'2.5", 6'3", 6'3". So the Tigers will have a height advantage on that. Tigers introducing Mike Eads being introduced, 6 foot junior. Jeff St. Clair, 5'8" junior.
Number 33, 6'2" senior Bill Harmon.
Bill Harmon, a 6'2" senior and a fine ball player, the floor leader right now for the Tigers.
6'3" junior Stephon Murray.
Stephon Murray, and that 6'3" I think is misleading. I believe that lad's a little 6'4". He's bigger than I am. And Jimmy Miller at 6'7", maybe a shade over that. And Stephon Murray at 6'4", jumps extremely well. We're ready for basketball now as the Eagles huddle around head coach Nichols. And of course the Tigers are now Coach Ralph Ball for the last word of instruction to set the game plan and to get it in concrete. As the Eagles break their huddle, they go out wearing the maroon outfits trimmed in white with big white numerals on them. The Tigers go out wearing their home whites, and we'll have Jimmy Miller in to jump for the Tigers, and he will be jumping against Vernon Knight of the Flying Eagles. As we're waiting for him to come in now, the official with the ball on the far side, we have got Knight in for the Eagles. Waiting for Miller now. As Jimmy steps in the circle. Now the official moving in. Ball is in the air. Tip control by the Eagles. And pulling it down is Green. Puts it on the floor, moves it to the front court. Backs it way down to the right side under pressure from Eads. Into the corner, gets it outside. He puts the ball up from the corner. Shot came off the iron. No good. Rebound by Harmon of the Tigers to St. Clair. The Tigers come to the offense now. Jeff brings it to the front court. To the left side to Harmon. Back to St. Clair. They go to Eads on the right side. As Steve high overhead with it. Harmon in the corner to Miller on the baseline. Goes under. Puts the shot up. No good. Rebound. Comes out to the floor. Picked up by Harmon. Burying from 17 feet. No good. Tipped up and in by Miller. Jimmy Miller puts it up and in for the Tigers. And the Tigers will press. As the Eagles will in the back court, get it tonight. Has a slap move, picked up by Eads. Eads into the corner with it, into the front court. Gets in the bucket. Marks the shot up off the iron. No good. Ball is in, puts it back up again. He's done it. Mike Eads. As the Tigers go out by 4 now, they'll press again. And Green with the ball for the Flying Eagles. Gets it to the front court, 2 balls. Ball goes up, waits for traffic to clear, looks for help now. Gets help from Green. Green puts it on the floor, comes across court with it. Saves it for Edmonds, and Edmonds starts it to the right side, holds it up, looks back to the left. Gets it to Boggs. Boggs puts into the corner with it. Gibson holds it high overhead, looks underneath as they get. Boggs coming across the pivot, has a throw back outside and into the back court. And goes out of bounds in the back court. It'll be Tiger ball as the Flying Eagles miss the pass.
Yeah, we might mention that this is Beckley's first game of the season.
And St. Clair to Harmon. Harmon on the left side. Feeds it to Eads down low into the lane. Puts it on the glass. He's got it there to foul. As Eads forcing his way down that lane. Puts it on the glass and into the net. And the Tigers go out 6. Zip. And Eads will be on the free throw line to shoot 1. And we got a timeout. As the Flying Eagles want a timeout. So with the score 6-zip, the Tigers on top. List balls for this message.
The Beckley Flying Eagles so far tonight seem to have a little trouble getting adjusted to the first game of the season. And I might mention that on the broadcast last week, we reported at one point Mike Eads' score total as being incorrect. That we had him with 22 and he actually had 24, so we want to stand corrected on that.
All right, Tigers break their huddle now. We'll have Eads on the free throw line. He'll fire 1 shot. Tigers on top, 6-0. We got 6 minutes, 32 seconds to play in the first quarter. As Miller finally gets up the free throw line. And the Tigers got socks. Says Tigers down the side, Bob.
Those are new socks this year.
Eads fires and got it. 7-0. Tigers up now, and they're still fresh. The inbound pass, we got a traveling call. As he got it into Edmonds, and Edmonds did not get that pivot foot moving. He just kept driving. He kept dragging it. And we'll get Ronnie Kidd into the ball game for the Flying Eagles. Ronnie Kidd comes in at about 5'5", a senior this year. As the Tigers have it out of bounds. Harmon hit down to the Eads in the corner. Eads looks underneath. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. Gives it back to Eads in the corner left side. St. Clair with the ball quarter court. Starts to across the top of the key to Harmon on the far side to Miller on the low post. Works the baseline. Fires. Got it. Jimmy Miller. Tigers up 9-0 now. As Ronnie Kidd with the ball for the Flying Eagles. Gets it to Gibson. Gibson on the fly pattern to Kidd. Goes down, lays it up. Got it. Ronnie Kidd. First running for the goal for the Flying Eagles. 9-2 now. Tigers are up by 7. As Miller has it up court. Goes across the lane for the Tigers. Got it. Running hooked up by Jimmy Miller. The Tigers still on the press now. Ronnie Kidd with the ball for the Beckley Flying Eagles. Gets it to the front court on the right side. Takes it back top of the key. Looks underneath, calls the signal. Tries to get underneath, stolen by Harmon. That moves. Harmon chasing into the front court. Picks it up. Rolls it to St. Clair, and the ball rolls out of bounds off of St. Clair's leg. It'll be Beckley ball. And the Tigers ball hawking did not come up with it as the inbound pass for Beckley comes to Kidd. As Ronnie will bring it to the front court. Leads the pass into the corner with it to Gibson. Gibson gives it back outside to Kidd, and Ronnie goes toward the top of the key. Comes back to the near side. Looks underneath. We got a whistle and traveling call. It'll be Tiger ball in the backcourt. 11-2. 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Jeff St. Clair takes it to the front court for the Tigers. To Harmon on the right side. Firing it in partially blocked. Picked out in the air by Miller. Gives it back out to St. Clair. Works to the key. Backs it out of trouble. To Harmon on the far side. They go to Miller on the low post. He fires off the baseline. Jeff Miller off of that low post. Works the triple section. 13-2 as Kidd with the ball for the Flying Eagles. Beckley trying to get it to the front court now. Works on St. Clair. Gets to the front court with it. Works it toward the key. Backs it off. Moves it to the far side to Green. Green gets into the corner, backs it back outside the Kidd, and Ronnie comes to the near side. Still on the dribble to Green. In the corner with it to Goodson. Goodson holds it up. They go to the high post. Two balls, works the lane. Fires off the glass. No good. We got a foul on Harmon. And that was number 1 on Harmon. Team foul number 1 on the Tigers. 4:48 to play in the first quarter. The Princeton Tigers enjoying a 13-2 advantage over the Flying Eagles. And we will have Jeff Boggs on the free throw line for the Flying Eagles. Boggs will put it up with the right hand. It's up off the back iron, no good. He'll have another attempt. 13-2, Tigers on top. As the Tiger cheerleaders keeping up on the far side. Boggs fires off the front iron side there and drops it. 13-3 now. Zeed with the ball for the Tigers. Moves it to the front court on the far side as the Eagles pick him up in midcourt. Looks for St. Clair, gets it to St. Clair. Jeff way out in the center circle. Starts to move toward the right side. Leaves it for East. East starts it down inside. Goes to Murray on the baseline. We got a whistle. And Murray tips on the baseline. It'll be out for the Flying Eagles. As Kidd gets the ball, and we'll move it to the front court for the Flying Eagles. Works it toward the top of the key. Starts to drive. Goes down the lane into the baseline. Comes back out. Goodson gives it back to Kidd. And he gets it back inside the ball. Drives the baseline. Puts it up no good. Ball gets around. Goes to the floor. Picked up by Boggs for the Flying Eagles. Boggs gives it to Ronnie Kidd. Kidd directs traffic. Goes to the far side of the green. They go deep in the corner with it. Shot goes up no good. Picked down by the Tigers. The East comes out with it. And Mike holds it up, waits for traffic to clear, and gives it to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff on the dribble with it to the right side to East. He's in the corner. He got St. Clair going to the deep. Shot dropped out of bounds by Kidd. Along the baseline. And Harmon will inbound. He gives it to Miller in the corner. Flying from 20 feet. Got it. Miller from 20 feet away. Pours it in. 15-3. As Ronnie Kidd brings it to the front court for the Beckley Flying Eagles. Holds it up, goes to the baseline with it. The Goodson fires, good. Dennis Goodson from the baseline, 8 feet away. 15-5 now. The Tigers come to the offense. We got Jeff St. Clair moving to the right side. Leaves it for Harmon. Harmon holds it outside quarter court, lifts at the wheel underneath. They go to Miller on the baseline, puts the shot up, no good. Tipped out, picked up by St. Clair in the lane. Trying to get it back to Miller. Intercepted by the Eagles. As they go out on the fast break for Green. And Green has it knocked out of bounds by St. Clair. It'll be Beckley ball. Coming into the ball game is Grant Taylor of the Flying Eagles. And inbound it will be Robert Green of Beckley. As Green pulls the trigger, drops it in the corner to Taylor. Taylor gives it back outside the Kidd. They go to Green on the far side, drives the baseline, fires, pulls it short off the iron. Tip Watts, no good. Rebound comes outside. There's a scramble for it. It's out of bounds in front of it. It'll be Tiger ball. I thought that went off a different foot.
I believe it did. I think Beckley's hand was
Yeah, the official probably good. Good for him. We need it anyway. And we'll get James DeWitt into the game now. And now they turn it around and call it the Beckley ball. That's the correct call, I believe. It'll be Beckley ball. James DeWitt checks into the ball game for the Tigers. Jeff Boggs will inbound it for the Flying Eagles as he gets it into the backcourt to Ronnie Kidd. Kidd on the dribble with it, takes it to the front court, starts it to the left side, comes back out front, directs the traffic with it, gets it underneath the ball, drives the baseline, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound slapped out by Murray, picked up by Eads. Duke's on the move with it to the front court. In heavy traffic, comes around, Kidd fires to it. Eads from 15 foot puts to the net. 17-5 now. As the Tigers pressing, Taylor with the ball for the Flying Eagles. Gets to the front court to Kidd. As Kidd on the left side with it. Into the corner to Boggs. Boggs gives it back outside to Kidd, and Ronnie comes to the near side, still on the dribble. Looking underneath. Gives it to Green. Green will fire from outside off the iron. No good. Rebound by St. Clair in traffic. As Jeff puts it on the floor, starts it to the front court. Changes dribble. Starts it down the lane. Has it knocked loose. Picked up by Eads. The Tigers still in control. As Eads gives it back outside to St. Clair. St. Clair will start the offense now. The Witt on the left side. Holds it overhead. Tries to get to St. Clair. Drops it out of bounds. And it'll be Beckley ball. Coming into the ball game for the Beckley Flying Eagles.
And the game now
is Jerry Edmonds. And coming out will be Green. As Edmonds and Kidd will bring it to the front court for Beckley. Ronnie Kidd dribbling with the ball. Starts it to the right side. Goes under, puts the shot up. It is partially blocked. St. Clair comes over the rebound. Out to Eads. Eads on the break. Now you hold it up. He'll wait for help. As Eads holds it overhead to Murray on the high post. Gives it back to Eads. Comes across the top of the circle. Looks underneath. They can't get Miller open. So he gives it back outside to St. Clair, and they'll start all over again. to Eads on the far side. They got St. Clair going under on the roll. Just St. Clair, a dandy play as the Tigers work to perfection. 19-5. Tigers up. As Taylor with the ball. Edmonds with the ball to Taylor, firing out of the baseline for the Eagles. And he put the shot back up again. Still good. Rebound knocked around out of bounds. And maybe off the ball. Got the ball. Puts it back up again. Jeff Ball puts it up and in for the Flying Eagles. St. Clair will bring it to the front court. To DeWitt. Firing out of the corner off the iron. No good. Tipped up by Murray. No good. Tipped up by Miller. No good. Tipped up by Miller. He got it. And Miller staying with it. 21-7, and the Eagles are fast breaking. Going out up and in with it good. Edmonds hits it on the ball play. St. Clair moves to the front court for the Tigers. The Tigers up 21-9 with a minute to play in the first quarter. As DeWitt with it on the wing on the right side. Back to St. Clair, top of the key. Trying to get it to Miller, has it knocked loose. Trap short on the ball on the floor, picked up by Miller. Outside to St. Clair. St. Clair, top of the key to the right side. To DeWitt on the wing. DeWitt gives it back to St. Clair, top of the key. To Miller. Miller comes well on the high post. They go to DeWitt, and the post in the lane tipped out to Eads. He'll fire out of the corner, off the iron, no good. Rebound to Murray in traffic, has it knocked loose. Eads picks it up, fires on the iron, no good. And we've got a technical foul on DeWitt on grabbing the rim, I believe. What'd they call?
Now for the Tigers.
Offensive goaltending call on DeWitt. No bucket. And it'll be Beckley ball as Hansberger gets into the ball game for Princeton. Ronnie Kidd will bring it to the front court now for Beckley. To the right side with it. To Ball. Ball moves to the corner. Stops it underneath to Edmonds. Edmonds moves under, lays it up and in. As Edmonds makes a good move underneath. 21-11. Tigers up with 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Hansberger brings it to the front court for the Tigers. To the right side to St. Clair. To Eads. As Eads gives it back to Hansberger. Eads is Eads. Plays it back and forth with 8 seconds, 7 seconds on the clock now to DeWitt. There was for the shot, 4 seconds. And now Eads starts to drive. Goes into the lane. Fires. It is no good at the buzzer. So at the end of the first quarter of play, the Princeton Tigers 21, the Beckley Flying Eagles 11. And we'll be back right after this. As the first quarter score, 21-11. Bob, what do you see, buddy?
Well, I think Princeton had an excellent first quarter. Jimmy Miller had 12 points, Mike Eads had 7, and Jeff St. Clair was the only other Princeton player to score with 2 points. And Princeton ahead 21-11, but I think the game may get closer because this is Beckley's first experience in meaningful action this year, and I look for them to get a little bit better.
The Eagles did their best at the end, and they started coming alive in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the quarter.
They sure did, but they're very intimidated by Jimmy Miller, I believe. Every time they put a shot up, it seems like they're looking to see where he is because he's got a finger or a hand on a couple of shots, and I think he is a big factor in this game right now.
Miller's played with more aggression tonight.
Yes, he is. He is really coming alive, and I think every game he's getting better and better.
All right, we're ready to go as we'll have Miller to jump against Taylor. Taylor's ticket, it'll be Miller against Goodson. Goodson in Miller and waiting on the official. The official puts the ball up, tip controlled by the Flying Eagles. He's taking down his ball, drives, puts it up so good. Murray may have a handoff, knock it loose, and we've got a traveling call on the Flying Eagles. It'll be Tiger ball. Murray may have got a hand on that shot to knock it, to keep it going in. 21-11. Tigers up at St. Clair. Will bring it to the front court for the Tigers now. Jeff takes it to the right side to Eads. Eads holds it high overhead, looks outside, gives it back to St. Clair. As the Flying Eagles change their defense, we're looking into a 2-3 zone right now. St. Clair with the top of the key to Murray. They go to Miller on the baseline, firing off the iron, no good. Rebound, pulled down by the Flying Eagles as Goodson leads it out front on the right pass. And Miller now to take it away with that goaltending call. And putting that shot up was Goodson, I think. Goodson, I don't know if it was Edmonds or Goodson.
We'll ask again. Was it Edmonds or Goodson?
It was
Goodson. Goodson.
You're right. And Goodson gets the goal, 21-13 as Miller slaps it away from the rim. St. Clair comes back to the front court with it for the Tigers. To DeWitt, back to St. Clair, they go to the far side. To Eads on the wing. Down deep, they go to DeWitt on the post, then drops it into Miller on the low post. And he is fouled by Dennis Goodson as Miller going up to lay it on the glass. Goodson going with him and had a hand on the ball, but he got him off the body. That'll put Jimmy on the free throw line to shoot 2. That's foul number 2 on Goodson. Team foul number 2 on the Flying Eagles. Jimmy Miller on the free throw line. to have two chances. 21-13. Tigers up by 8. We got 7:16 to play in the first half. Winner in the first game tonight was Northfork, 86-72 over Woodbridge. Miller on the line and ready. He'll fire with the right hand. It's on the way. Pulled it short. Stepped the front iron. Put it through and out. No good. He'll have a second attempt. Jimmy stepped away from that line, a little bit upset with himself, so he'll go back and put the next one in. Jimmy on the line now for his second attempt. Squares that line up. He'll fire with the right hand. It's on the way and is full short also. No good. Rebound comes down for the Flying Eagles as Gibson pulls it down. Gets it up to Edmonds. Edmonds to the front court with it to Taylor. Taylor gives it back to Edmonds. Puts the shot up, no good. Rebound to DeWitt in traffic. Clears it out. Holds it. Gives it to St. Clair. Jeff goes to the front court with it. To Eves. Eves on the break. Goes into the corner. They hit him off. He gives it back outside to St. Clair. Back to Eves. Eves drives the baseline. Gets the pick from Miller, and we got a charging foul on Eves. That's foul number 1 on Mike, I believe, isn't it?
The foul on number 10 of the Tigers, Mike Eves.
And team foul number 2 on the Tigers. As Ronnie Kidd will inbound it to Jerry Edmonds of the Flying Eagles. Gives it back to Kidd. He brings it to the front court for Beckley. To Edmonds. Edmonds on the far side with it. They try to go to Kidd underneath. Almost loses out of bounds, and it's knocked out of bounds now off of Jimmy Miller. So the Eagles will inbound it on their own baseline. As the inbound it will be Jeff Boggs. As Boggs pulls the trigger, drops it into Goodson, fires good. Dennis Goodson pulls the Flying Eagles within 6 of the Tigers now. As Jeff St. Clair brings it back to the front court for the Tigers. Holds it up top of the key. Has it knocked loose. Picked up by Edmonds of the Flying Eagles. He's got Ronnie Kidd out on the break. Puts it up and in good, and he is fouled by St. Clair. As Ronnie Kidd brings the Beckley Flying Eagles within 4 now. And Kidd will be on the free throw line, and he can bring them one closer. That's foul number 1 on Jeff. Team foul number 3 on the Tigers, and the Tigers want a timeout. So with 6:28 left to play in the first half, Princeton 21, Beckley 17. Let's take 30 seconds for this.
28 seconds left in the second quarter with the score Princeton 21, Beckley 17, and Beckley has scored 6 points, and Princeton has not scored in the first minute and 32 seconds of the second.
No, I don't. I'll get back to you guys.
That is something you might have just a team vote. Ronnie Kidd on the line for the Flying Eagles. Fires, it's good. 21-18. We got a 3-point ball game now. As Jeff St. Clair brings it to the front court for the Tigers. The Flying Eagles into a 1-3-1 zone now. They change that defense again. As he's with the ball on the wing right side for the Tigers. They go to DeWitt. DeWitt in the corner with it. Trying to get it into Murray. Cannot get it back out to Eat. He fires. It's no good. Rebound to Murray in the lane. Puts it up. He is fouled. And he is fouled underneath by Jeff Boggs, I believe it is. And they're changing defenses almost every other time down the floor now.
It seems like they are. And that's bound to throw us off a little bit. One time down the court to get used to it.
That's a heavy personal set on the ball. 1, team foul number 3. Okay.
On the line,
Stephon Murray on the line now for the Tigers. 22-18. Tigers up by 4 as Murray ready to fire. He puts it up. It's good. He'll have just the 1 shot. No, he shot 2, made the first. Okay, we missed it. 23-18. Tigers up now by 5. As the Flying Eagles will have it out of bounds. Inbounds to Ronnie Kidd. Racing with it to the front court. Miller hits him off. Drops it in the corner to Boggs. Fires no good. Rebound to James DeWitt. DeWitt gives it to St. Clair. St. Clair to Miller. Miller goes down, has a partially blocked. Picked out here by Goodson of Beckley. Out to Kidd as they've got a breaker on the far side. And a shot put up by Edmonds. It is good, and he is fouled. The goal was no good. Okay. And the foul was called on who?
On Mike Eves, I believe that's
okay, on Eves. Okay, number 2 on Eves. Team foul number 4 on the Tigers. I thought the kid's going to hit the wall, and I look away from the basket to see. And this is where we
right off the side of the ring.
Okay. And we'll have Jerry Edmonds on the free throw line for Beckley. He'll fire. It's so good. He'll have a second attempt.
number 10, Mike Eves.
He got side iron loose and kicked out. So Edmonds will have a second attempt. 23-18. Tigers enjoying a 5-point advantage as Edmonds fires. It's good. 23-19 with 5:49 to play in the first half. As Mike Eves with the ball on the far side for the Tigers. Gives it to St. Clair. Back to Eves. They're still in the backcourt. Now to the front court with it to Murray. As Stephon holds it up. Gives it out to Eves to St. Clair. St. Clair directs the traffic out front. And we'll look for the offense to start now as the Eagles down a 2-1-2 zone this time. And the Tigers will draw them out of that zone as St. Clair stands in the center circle dribbling. Now to DeWitt on the left side. DeWitt starts inside slowly, gives it back outside to St. Clair. They want the Flying Eagles to play a man-to-man defense or get out of that tight zone and make them come outside. Eads with the ball on the far side to St. Clair. To DeWitt as they take it back and forth around the horn. Now DeWitt fires. Good. 17 feet. James DeWitt, 17 feet, hits the net. 25-19. As Kidd races to the front court with it for the Flying Eagles. Puts it up, and he is toe-whacked there by Murray. As Murray got his money's worth on that foul. That's what he did.
Sure did. That's the first foul on Murray and the 15th foul on the Princeton Tigers. You know, Kidd is 5'5", and he was going in some tall timber trying to
he's like a layup. He's like a water bug out there, though. All over the place.
Well, he's an excellent football player, too. He's very quick, and he's got good speed on the football.
Very much like Mo, except he's a little bit larger than Mo. Okay, Ronnie on the line. He shoots 2 throws. He fires the first one. It's good. That's a pretty long way for a little kid like that to get that ball off there.
I read an article on him, I guess, when he was a sophomore in the Beckley paper, and I think a lot of people over in the Raleigh County area were trying to convince him he probably shouldn't even try to play basketball. But the article was very positive, and he sounded like he would stick with it, and I believe he made a wise decision.
All right, the Tigers come to the offense now. 25-21 as Kidd gets the second free throw. St. Clair with it to Heath. Heath in the corner. Out to DeWitt at the key. Firing the line, in and out, no good. Tipped out, no good by Miller. As they come out to Kidd with it, is running with it in the front court. St. Clair hits him off, backs him out. As Kidd backs it out of trouble, moves it across court. They go to the high post now. To Taylor. Taylor gives it back to Kidd, firing from 18 feet off the iron. No good to St. Clair, runs the ball down. And the Tigers come to the offense, leading by 4. To Miller. Jimmy starts it into the lane. Goes across the lane. Can't get shot off. Gets it to DeWitt. DeWitt puts it up in the air. A fine play by Miller. A fine shot by DeWitt. 27-21. As Ronnie Kidd brings it to the front court for Beckley. Still on the dribble with it. Holds it up to the high post to Taylor. Taylor looks underneath. Now they get Dixon. Goes down the lane. Fires over the window. Good. Rebound. Fourth score. Pulled down by St. Clair in traffic. As Kemp moves it to the front court for the Tigers. Still on the dribble with it. Starts it toward the right side. Now to Eads. Eads on the wing. Right side. Looks underneath. Waits for somebody to come over. They go to Miller on the baseline. Jimmy puts it up and in from about 5 foot. Jimmy Miller wearing that baseline out on the far side so far. As the Eagles come back to the front court. Taylor with the ball. Give it to Edmonds. Kidd. Ronnie starts toward the baseline. Goes under, fires. We got a whistle and a foul. He called that on Murray. Murray missed him altogether. But they ain't got called on. It is. Foul on Stephon Murray. And it will put the Kidd on the free throw line. Foul number 2 on Murray. Team foul number 6 on the Tigers. And we'll have Ronnie Kidd on the free throw line. Checking into the ballgame for the Flying Eagles is Lipton's coming back in, I guess, too. And in is 55, so that's Fun Knight back in. Ronnie Kidd ready to fire. He puts it up. It is good. 29-22. Tigers up by 7 with 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Ronnie will have a second equip. He looks, he fires, it is good. 29-23, and the Tigers move to the offense. St. Clair puts it on the floor, moves it across the time stripe. As the Flying Eagles into a 2-3 zone now. And St. Clair sits outside, waits for him to come out to play basketball. To James DeWitt. DeWitt on the wing on the left side, dribbling slowly, gives it back outside to St. Clair. They still will spread that zone a little more, the Flying Eagles. And the Eagles are spreading it out somewhat now, almost matching up man-to-man. DeWitt with the ball on the left side, gets the screen from Miller, fires, it's on the iron, no good. Murray up, can't get the ball tipped, and the outlet pass thrown out of bounds, and they gave it to Preston. I think Preston deflected that pass a bit at it, but it'll be Preston ball on the far side. We'll take it. We'll take everything we can get. Jeff St. Clair inbound to D. Mike gives it right back to Jeff, and the Tigers move to the offense. Jeff to the left side to DeWitt. DeWitt looks underneath. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. St. Clair across the top of the key. Back to DeWitt. Moves around the screen by Miller. He is fouled as he's driving. And that foul probably called on
55, I believe.
You're right. On Vernon Knight. That's number 1 on Knight. Team foul number 4 on the Flying Eagles. That'll put James DeWitt on the free throw line to shoot two for the Tigers. 29-23. Tigers up by 6 with 2:46 left to play in the first half. DeWitt fires. We'll have a second attempt. DeWitt fires the second shot. Good. 31-23. As Ronnie Kidd will move it to the front court for the Beckley Flying Eagles. Ronnie on the dribble with it. Changes to the left hand. Trying to drop it underneath. Can't get it through. Miller deflected. Comes out with it to St. Clair. Out to the weed. Deep into the front court. Goes down. Fires. Good. Mike Eads from 9 feet away. Puts it in. 33-23. As the Eagles come back now. Taylor flying on safe. Miller got a picture of that. Picked out of the air by Eads. Over to St. Clair. The Tigers come to the offense now. Kidd comes out, deflects the ball, and gives it to Beckley.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
So the Flying Eagles beat the ball out of bounds in their own backcourt.
I believe Kidd deflected that away, and it just couldn't roll out. Kidd wanted somebody from Beckley to come out and get it before it rolled out.
I think Kidd knew he hit it. The Flying Eagles come to the offense now on the far side. Taking it in Edmonds. Edmonds underneath to the corner to Goodson. Gives it back outside to Edmonds. The top of the key with it. Looking underneath. Gets it to Kidd. Kidd on the near side. Looking underneath. Can't get anybody open. Back to Edmonds. Edmonds still looking for somebody. Back to Kidd. To the right side with it. To Goodson. Firing. No good. Rebound comes to the floor. Picked up by Eads. As that Mike comes out into traffic. Gets it to the front court. Holds it up. Waits for help to join him. Leaves it for St. Clair. Jeff holds it overhead, looks underneath as the Eagles down to 1-3-1 zone. They went with the ball on the left wing as St. Clair has it out, guarded by Kidd. Trying to get it to Murray on the baseline. Has it knocked loose, picked up by DeWitt. DeWitt drops it to Eads, top of the key, firing. Off the iron, no good. Trying to tip, no good. Rebound comes out to the Flying Eagles. Out to Edmonds. Edmonds drives, lays it up, got it. Jerry Edmonds hits it for the Flying Eagles. 33-25. Tigers up by 8 with 1:20 to play in the first half. St. Clair to the front court with it for the Tigers. They double team him. Gets it to Eads. Eads goes into Langwood. Starts to drive. Goes down. Puts it up.
WAEY.
Mike Eads driving the lane, putting it into the net. 35-25. As Edmonds to the front court with it for the Flying Eagles. Top of the key, moves it toward the left side. Looking underneath, gives it to Kidd. Kidd top of the key with it. Comes toward the near side. Looking underneath, gives it back to Edmonds. Edmonds drives the lane. We get a traveling call. And he got the pivot foot moving before he got everything else in motion. And we got a timeout. Call to the Flying Eagles.
I believe it was Princeton's timeout. I'm not sure.
I didn't see. No, it is timeout. It is to the Beckley Flying. So a timeout on the floor. Let's take 30 seconds for this.
We're back at Princeton High School with 54 seconds left in the second quarter with the score 35-25 in Princeton's favor. And Ann, do you have some statistics?
Yes, I do. Princeton is leading in the rebound column, 21-11. Oddly enough, the leading rebounders for Princeton are their two guards. Mike Eads has pulled down 3 rebounds at the defensive end, and number 12, Jeff St. Clair, has got 4 defensive rebounds. So at the defensive end, the two guards are carrying the load. Jimmy Miller has done an outstanding job offensively. He's had several passes.
Jimmy's wearing baseline out on that right side of her.
He sure is, and plus he's got 2 or 3 real good taps. He's doing a good job on the offensive end.
The Tigers keeping the ball alive fairly well on that rim.
Yes, they are. They're tall, they're quick, they're aggressive, and they do a super job up there on the boards.
All right, the Tigers come to the offense now. Eads with the ball on the far side. Puts it on the floor, looking at a Beckley 1-3-1 zone. Now the Tigers come out. Now they drop back as the Eagles came out to a man-to-man, then dropped it back. As St. Clair with the ball, top of the key with it. To DeWitt on the left side. Puts it on the floor, gives it back outside to St. Clair. The Tigers may be playing for one shot. With 31 seconds to play in the first half. St. Clair with it, goes toward the top of the key. Looks for help. Gives it back outside to Eads. Eads on the far side. Penetrates. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. As St. Clair and Eads play back and forth. As looking underneath, waiting for somebody to get open. Maybe the back door will open up for them. St. Clair with it, still way out front. Dribbling with it. Comes from the near side. Gives it back to Eads on the far side. As Mike Eads looks for Miller. Now he gives it back to St. Clair. Jim to DeWitt on the baseline. Firing off the iron, no good. Rebound. 2 for 4, and the buzzer sounds. So at the end of the first half of play, the Beckley Flying Eagles 25. The Princeton Tigers 35. As in that second quarter, the Tigers could only get 14 points, while the Flying Eagles got 14 points. So it was an even-Steven second quarter. We'll be back right after this. The Tigers enjoying a 35-25 halftime advantage. And, Bob, if you're ready for some halftime stats, what we got?
Okay. Jimmy Miller had 14 points on 7 baskets. He was 0 for 2 at the foul line. Mike Eads had 5 baskets, and he made his only foul shot, so he was 1 for 1 from the foul line for 11 points. Jeff St. Clair had 1 basket for 2 points. Stephen Murray had 2 foul shots for 2 points. James DeWitt, who came in the ball game late in the first quarter, had 6 points on 2 baskets and 2 for 2 at the foul line. It looks to me like Princeton's had 7 foul shots and made 5 of their foul shots. For the Beckley Flying Eagles, Edmonds shows 7 points on the night with 3 field goals and 1 foul shot. Jeff Boggs has 3 points on the night, 1 field goal and one of 2 from the foul line. Robert Green did not score. Dennis Goodson had 6 points on 3 field goals. And the young man Ron Kidd had 9 points on 2 field goals and 5 for 5 at the foul line. The Flying Eagles shot 7 of 9 at the foul line, and Princeton was 5 of 7 at the foul line. First half score is 35-25, and we will pause 10 seconds for station break.
And there were no rebounds in there, so Princeton is out rebounding Woodrow Wilson right now, 21-11, which is understandable. As the starters were announced, we did note that there was quite a difference in height. Princeton's largest man, naturally Jimmy Miller, being 6'7", the largest boy for Woodrow Wilson being 6'3", and that 4 inches is a big 4 inches because Jimmy, in my opinion, plays much over the 6'7" level.
Right now, on the turnovers and the shooting percentages, the ball handling is getting, at times, a little bit sloppy, but the Tigers making a couple of bad passes, but they're seeming to also make some good defensive plays.
Right. Princeton has been a little nonchalant with a couple of their passes, but overall, they worked the ball real well. One bad pass was just a fluke that Jeff St. Clair wasn't paying attention as he went through the lane. He thought he had made his full cut and started to cut through. I think overall, Princeton probably is not shooting with the same good percentage that they shot with down in Hinton, but I think a lot of that is due to the much better defense that Woodrow Wilson is playing on.
I think you're probably right. Sitting on my left now, we have I guess we call the valedictorian of the high school coaching elite throughout the state of West Virginia. We have Coach Jennings Boyd of the Northfork Blue Demons with us. Welcome aboard.
Well, Glenn, thank you very much. It's certainly a pleasure for me to be here with you at halftime, enjoying this second game of this tremendous tournament that has begun this year. I think it's a great event for our area here, and I hope it's an event that will take hold and continue for many years to come.
We were discussing that earlier. We were hoping the same thing, but you're watching this second game with a lot of particular interest because your Blue Demons, victorious in the first game, 86-72 over a fine Woodbridge team, will beat the winner of this game. Congratulations on a big win.
Well, Glenn, thank you very much. And, of course, whichever of the teams we play tomorrow night in the finals, we will still have to face that team twice more during the regular season, so this game certainly is of special interest to us tonight.
The Blue Demons tonight, as they were playing the Woodbridge team, got off to a little bit of a slow start, picked up the tempo a little bit, and then kind of maybe got a little bit casual because Woodbridge came back and it was a very close ball game at halftime. In the second half, the Blue Demons probably came of age for the season and started putting them away pretty good.
Well, Glenn, I've told a lot of people that I'm certainly not pleased with the performance of our young men as yet in the early season. We've been suffering from complacency all during our preseason practice and got soundly beaten down at Williamson last Friday night. And we played with a little more intensity tonight, played much better overall but yet the inconsistency that we exhibited there at the end of the second quarter, where Woodbridge cut an 11-point lead down to a tie game at halftime, and then I think that we had a 11-point lead somewhere near the end of the third quarter, and going into the fourth quarter, we let them cut it down again, and then, of course, we were fortunate enough that we could build up the lead that we beat them with toward the end of the game. So we're not going to be a good basketball team until we can develop some consistency, and because of the fact that we have been rather lackadaisical, complacent in our preseason practice, we're behind in our conditioning program. I might even say that the kids have been a little bit lazy, and the inconsistency shows up as it did tonight in those two quarters, late in the second quarter, early in the fourth quarter, I think because we are behind in our conditioning program.
One of the things that I think I noticed different about the Blue Demon team that I saw tonight, and the ones I've seen for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, is that when things were starting to get a little erratic, in the past, you've always had the real stopper to go to. You had the String Harris, the Russell Todd, the leadership ability to settle it down to get the big bucket. And this fella probably hasn't came to the front yet this year for you.
Right. We don't have any one individual that we can look to, Glenn. I'd like to have somebody out there that we could go to.
Like to have Russell for another 3 years.
Sure would. And but we have, I think, 7 players that we played throughout most of the game tonight that during, let's say, after half this season, I think we're going to be a pretty representative basketball game. And I've got another young man sitting on the bench with a leg injury, Henry Hall, who didn't get to play tonight. But I think maybe Monday he'll be able to get back to practice. Help us quite a bit in our depth. We've got, and we'll end up probably with 8 or 9 players that we can depend on when we get ready during the middle of the season and then going down the stretch into the tournaments.
And that's true. Of course, after you get 5, 6, 7, 8 games under your belt, some of your senior ball players, or even a junior, will come forward and take that leadership role for you. You've got the potential. Like I know the Spencer lad is a fine ball player. The Boyd lad seems to have a lot of ball presence. Of course, Field are all good potential leadership ball players for you.
Right, Glenn. That's part of the potential that I think we have. Really, unless I have terribly overestimated our personnel, I think that eventually we will end up being a better basketball team than we were last year.
The thing that I guess I have to comment on, and of course I don't have to, but we're very proud of in this area, being from Southern West Virginia. You know, Southern West Virginians like to see Southern West Virginia teams do well. And I would think that probably the McDowell County Board of Education probably feels that you are a great drain on their budget because they have to keep building new trophy cases up there.
Well, I don't think they mind, though. We've been blessed down there, Glenn, with some tremendous athletes and tremendous young men as well. I don't think that you can win without the talent, and in this day and time, I don't think you can win without top-notch young men as well.
That's true, but somebody had to coach you to make it happen. Jennings Boyd, we're glad to have you with us.
Glenn, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jennings Boyd of the Northfork Blue Demons, and we'll be back right after this. And we're just commenting about Jennings Boyd. Jennings Boyd, the real gentleman. We're ready for second half basketball now. The Tigers 35, Beckley 25. As the Tigers come back out with Stephon Murray, Jimmy Miller, Harmon, Mike Eads, and Jeff St. Clair. That's still Harmon. It will have Jimmy Miller into jump against running tight this time. And it's hit controlled by the Tigers as Eads pulls it off. Holds it up, gives it to St. Clair, and the Tigers will start their offense. 2-1-2 zone coming from the Flying Eagles. Harmon with the ball on the far side. Still gives it back outside to St. Clair. Comes in Eads on the near side. Mike on the move with it. Goes to the cross court to Murray. Murray puts it up, no good. Rebound pulled down underneath by the Eagles. Not the kid and running with it to the front court for the Flying Eagles. St. Clair kicks the ball away and call for kicking the ball. It'll be out of bounds to the Flying Eagles. As the Flying Eagles will have it on the baseline. As they inbound it out front to Kidd. Ronnie moves it to the far side to Edmonds. Edmonds comes across the top of the key, gives it to Kidd. Kidd directs traffic underneath as the Tigers into a 1-2-2 zone. Dropping deep now. As Knight puts the shot up no good as East comes off with it, gives it to St. Clair. Jeff will bring it to the front court for the Tigers. And he looks underneath to Harmon, right side, trying to go to Miller on the baseline. Has it knocked away and picked up by the Flying Eagles. As Knight gets it down to Kidd. Ronnie into the front court with it. Trying to get it to Princeton and has it knocked out of bounds. It'll be Tiger ball. Harmon will inbound it for the Tigers. 35-25. No score here in the 1 minute of play in the third quarter. As Jeff St. Clair brings it to the front court. To the right side to Harmon. Harmon gives it back to St. Clair. He's on the far side. He'll fire from 20 feet off the iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by the Eagles. Goodman gets it out to Edmonds. Edmonds into the front court to Kidd. Puts it up. Whistle. A foul. The bucket will be good. Ronnie Kidd hits the goal for the Flying Eagles, and he'll have a free throw.
That gives by far and away the smallest player on the court point total for Beckley Flying Eagles.
He's listening to you.
Say hi, Aaron. Hello, Aaron.
All right, Ronnie Kidd on the free throw line to shoot one. He fires. It is good. 35-28 as the Flying Eagles cut 3 points over that Tiger lead. Now Jeff St. Clair works it to the front court for the Tigers. Top of the key with it. To the left side to Eads. Eads looks underneath. Looks at Miller. Looks at Harmon. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. St. Clair back to Harmon. Harmon goes to the corner. Fires. It is off the iron. No good. As the Tigers getting cold now. As Kidd rebounds out to Edmonds. Drives. Fires. It is good. As it was pitched in by Knight. And that may have been goaltending, but there's no call on it. No call, so the goal is good.
He knocked that off the rim into the basket. That was goaltending.
St. Clair trying to get it to Miller underneath. Has it knocked loose. Picked up by the Flying Eagles. His ball gets it to Kidd. And Murray runs him down and takes it away. Gets it out to Miller. Miller to the front court with it. Works to the baseline. Drives. Through that. Puts it up. We got a charging foul on Miller. And boy, the tempo of this game has changed around. 35-30 as the Tigers want a timeout to regroup. So a timeout on the floor. We got Princeton 35, Beckley 30. We'll be back right after this.
We're back at Princeton High School with 6:10 left in the third quarter with the score 35-30. In the third quarter so far, Princeton has failed to score, and the Beckley Flying Eagles have put on 5 points on the board to bring a 10-point halftime deficit down to 5. And we were just talking about what we thought was an offensive goaltending call, and I think it was our consensus that the ball was still on the cylinder and the Beckley player tapped it in. Is that pretty much correct?
From where I'm sitting, it looked like the ball was just resting on the cylinder, and so therefore part of the ball had to be within that imaginary circle extended up. And anytime it's in there and anybody touches it, it's goaltending one way or the other.
I think we were to vote on it. I think we'd win there.
We both got it. We'd win.
Officials would listen to it if we better.
If they understand English. All right, Beckley to the offense now. As they get it to the front court. To Edmonds. Edmonds dribbling with it. Works on St. Clair. Goes to the right side. To Ball. Ball gives it back outside to Edmonds to Kidd. As Kidd gives it back to Edmonds. Goes around the pick. Comes back outside with it looking underneath. As the Tigers bring his own defense. They put the shot up. It is no good. Tipped around. Brought for underneath into a big scramble. As Eads comes out with it for the Tigers. Into the front court with it. Still dribbling. Waits for the traffic to clear. Gives it to St. Clair. Jeff will set the offense. Eads on the far side. As Eads looks underneath. Gives it back to St. Clair. St. Clair comes across the top of the key to the near side to Miller. Trying to get it into Murray. Has it taken away. Picked up by Knight of the Eagles. As Beckley to the offense now. Edmonds to the front court with it to Kidd. Ronnie holds it up. I started to say high overhead, but he didn't reach high. Gives it back to Edmonds. Edmonds to Kidd. Into the corner with it. Now we got stepping on the baseline. As Jeff Boggs trying to drive that baseline, stepped on the baseline. It'll be out of bounds to the Tigers. As the Tigers inbound it, and Jeff St. Clair brings it to the front court. 35-30. Tigers up by 5 with 5:14 to play. In the third quarter, DeWitt with the ball on the right side, checking in the ball. Drops underneath to Miller. Miller goes under, gets it up and in. Jimmy Miller gets the Tigers first basket of the second half. Ronnie Kidd comes to the front court with it for Beckley. To Edmonds. Edmonds on the far side. As Edmonds looking underneath, gives it back to Kidd. Kidd looks to the near side with it. Back to Edmonds. Edmonds looks into the corner with it to Boggs. Boggs trying. Got it. 12 feet away. Jeff Boggs. 37-32. Tigers up by 5. As Jeff St. Clair brings it to the front court for the Tigers now. Top of the key to the right side to DeWitt. DeWitt way on the wing with it. Starts to the baseline. He'll fire. Good. From 20 feet, he puts it in the bottom of the net. 39-32. Tigers up by 7. As Edmonds to the front court with it for Beckley. Still on the dribble with it to Kidd. Kidd on the wing right side. to Ball. Starts underneath, cut off by Eads. Gives it back outside into the lane with it. To Goodman. Puts a shot up. It is no good. Tipped up by Knight. Good. What a night. As the Tigers with a 5-point lead, as St. Clair brings it back to the offense for Princeton. On the right side for Tigers. To Eads, to St. Clair, firing from the left side off the iron, no good. Rebound, run down by Knight of the Flying Eagles. Gets it over to Edmonds. It's Edmonds. The kid and the Flying Eagles to the attack now. They go underneath with it. It's Edmonds, but no man. Gibson pulls Beckley within one. 39-38 as the Tigers scrapping for their life now. To Eads. Eads on the left wing position. Gives it outside to the Witt. To St. Clair on the right side. Holds it overhead. Looks underneath. Gives it back to the top of the key with it. To DeWitt. He'll fire from outside. Off the front iron. No good. Miller rebounds in traffic. Puts it up. No good. Rebound tips around. Pulled down by Murray. Murray starts inside. He is fouled by Jeff Boggs. And on Boggs, that is foul number 2. Team foul number 1 on the Eagles in the second half. As we got somebody into the ball game for the Flying Eagles right now. Who came in? Taylor came in. It'll be out of bounds to the Tigers as DeWitt will pull the string on it. As he drops it way outside to St. Clair. To Eads on the left side, wing position. Looking underneath. Gives it to DeWitt. DeWitt starts into the lane. Shuffles off to Murray. Drives underneath. Pushes it away in. Falls back. Fires. No good. Rebound in heavy traffic pulled down by the Flying Eagles as Taylor gets it out to Edmonds. Edmonds drives the lane. Has a knock loose by St. Clair. And it'll be Beckley ball. As Knight will check back into the ball game for the Flying Eagles. And we'll get Goodson out. And we'll get Green into the ball game for the Flying Eagles.
Beckley has outscored Princeton 13-4 in the second half.
Now scrapping them right now.
Sure.
As Green will inbound it. Gets it way out front to Ronnie Kidd. As the momentum has changed to the Flying Eagles. Robert Green with the ball for Beckley. To the high post to Taylor. Gives it back to Green. Into the corner with it to Boggs. Boggs gives it back out to Green. To Kidd on the near side. To Green. Starts to the lane. He'll fire from 17 feet. Has it deflected. Put back up by one of the Eagles. Putting it up for 43 Boggs. As Beckley takes the lead. 40-39 for the first time tonight. As the Tigers now have to come from behind. Jeff St. Clair directs some traffic. Gives it to James DeWitt. DeWitt looking underneath. Can't get anything open. Gives it to Miller on the high post. They double team him. Miller starts down the lane. He is tripped. Goes to the floor, and we got a foul. Foul on Jeff Boggs, and it's number 3 on Boggs. Foul number 2. Team foul number 2 on the Flying Eagles.
Foul number 43, Jeff Boggs.
James DeWitt inbound it for the Tigers. He'll pull the trigger, drops it outside to St. Clair. Almost deflected. St. Clair whips it to Eads. Takes the shot, goes into the lane, has it blocked. He is fouled. And let's see who they got that one on. Could be on Green, could be on, it is on Vernon Knight. That's number 2 on Knight. Team foul number 3 on the Flying Eagles. That was a shooting foul. Should be a 2-shot foul for Mike Eads. As Eads can get the Tigers back into the lead. Hopefully. Mike on the line. He'll shoot 2. He fires with the right hand. First one's on the way. It's good. Nothing but bottom of the net, but it's softly. He'll have a second attempt. Mike ready. He fires. It's good. 41-40. Tigers back out by 1 now as they'll press. Ronnie Kidd with the ball for the Flying Eagles. They try to double team him. He gets it to Robert Green. They double team Green. He gets it back to Kidd and Ronnie. Takes it to the front court. You can't hit the kid off. He's too small. They can't corner him. Into the corner with it tonight. Firing out of the corner, no good. Hooked up by St. Clair in traffic. Behind the back dribble. Waits for traffic to clear. Now he'll move it to the front court. Looks to Coach Ralph Ball for some instructions, and they'll pull him out of the zone as he stands outside. As Beckley into a 2-1-2 zone. And the Tigers want him to come out and play basketball. As Ronnie Kidd moves out, they match up. And DeWitt with the ball on the left side now. Goes to the corner. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. St. Clair holds it overhead, gives it back to the Witt in the corner, looks underneath for Miller, cannot get him, gives it to Murray. High post, firing out of the lane, no good. Miller rebounds in traffic, fires, it is good. Jimmy Miller. 43-40, the Tigers go out by 3 now with 1:07 to play in the third quarter. Ronnie Kidd racing to the front court with it for Beckley. Fires, no good. Rebound to Mike Eads. Mike gives it to the Witt. The Witt into the front court with it, waits for traffic to clear, looks underneath, sees Miller, and fires to the iron, good. James Millett puts the Tigers out by 5 now. The Tigers come back alive. Robert Green into the front court with it for Beckley. Leaves it for Knight. Knight gives it back to Green. As Green starts across the floor with it, goes to the lane. The Kid on the right side. Into the corner with it. Two Goodson trying. Got it. Check it. Jeff Ball. Ball did it. 45-42 now with 34 seconds to play in the third quarter. Jeff St. Clair walks the ball into the front court for the Tigers. To DeWitt on the left side. DeWitt starts into the corner, gets to Murray on the baseline, goes into the lane. We got a whistle, and they call traveling. And we had some contact between Murray and Ball.
Murray had the opening. He hesitated just a little too long and lost
the ball. Took a weird bounce on him. He lost sight of it. So the Tigers come back to the defense now. The Eagles on offense. Ball flying, has it blocked by the Witt. Picked up by Ball, sends out the Green with 12 seconds. To Taylor. Back to Green. To Taylor as they come to the Kid on the near side. Drives under, puts it up, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Witt with 3 seconds. To St. Clair, to Eads. Trying from backcourt. Off the glass, no good. So at the end of the third quarter of play, the Beckley Flying Eagles putting a big rush on. Come up with 42 points. The Princeton Tigers with 45. As in that third quarter of play, the Tigers could only get 10 points. Meanwhile, the Beckley Flying Eagles picked up 17 big ones, and that makes a big difference in the ball game. With the score, Princeton 45, Beckley 42, after 3 quarters of play. We'll be back right after this.
5:42, with getting ready to start the last quarter, and the person who seemed to do the most damage for Beckley in that third quarter was Jeff Boggs, who had 4 field goals. And you were commenting on the ability of Beckley to perhaps rest some of their people in the third quarter.
Yes, he took 3 of his racehorses out late in that quarter, presumably to give them a rest. They're back in there now, and they were the people who were very key in changing the total momentum of the game and changing the whole pace.
Well, he was able to get Kidd out, Knight out, and Boggs out. Also Edmonds, so he really rested some people.
He sure did.
All right, we're ready. The Tigers back with Miller, DeWitt, Murray, Eads, and St. Clair. Miller in the jump, and he'll be jumping against Dennis Goodson. Controlled by the Tigers as Miller picks it up. Gets it to St. Clair. St. Clair on the wing left side. Waits for traffic to clear. The Flying Eagles sit into that 2-1-2 zone. It's a modified 2-3. And he goes to DeWitt on the left side. DeWitt starts into the lane. Throws it to Eads and out of bounds. It'll be Beckley ball. 45-42. Tigers up by 3 in the fourth quarter now. As it gets down to the nitty-gritty. As Jerry Edmonds brings it to the front court for Beckley. To Ronnie Kidd. Back 17 feet. Somebody got a hand on it. The Witt partially blocked it. It's on the floor as Knight comes up with it. We got a traveling call as they were really scrapping it out of the lane in there. And Vernon Knight really scrapping for the ball. Finally called for the travel. As the Tigers come to the offense now, Jeff St. Clair brings it to the front court, and he stands in the center circle waiting for Beckley to come out and match up. And St. Clair to Eads on the right side, into the corner. Holds it up. Now he'll fire off the back iron, no good. Rebound slapped out, picked up by Beckley. On the run with it to Kidd. As Kidd goes down, gets it to Edmonds, puts it up, no good. He is fouled by Eads, I believe. And the foul is called on Eads. That's number 3 on Mike. Team foul. Number in the second half.
I show that as number 1.
That's okay. No fouls in the third quarter.
No fouls in the third quarter.
And we'll have Jerry Edmonds on the free throw line for the Beckley Flying Eagles. 7:14 to play. Tigers up by 3, but Edmonds on the line to shoot 2 for the Eagles. First one is up and no good. He got the back iron and he came off. Put it on the flange, kicked it all the way out. He'll have a second attempt. As Edmonds fires. Good. 45-43 now. Tigers up by 2 as St. Clair will work it to the front court for the Tigers. Dribbles his way right across the center circle. Holds it up out front to make Beckley pull out of the zone. Beckley is a 2-1-2 zone. And now they come out. slowly, grudgingly, as Eads with the ball on the left side, gives it back to St. Clair. St. Clair fakes it to Eads, comes back to the near side with it, to DeWitt. DeWitt takes one dribble, gives it back to St. Clair. St. Clair goes back out near the center circle, drives it into the top of the key, has a knock loose by Edmonds, picked up, out the kid is running. Racing, goes down, fires, he is fouled by Eads, and that'll be number 4 on Mike Eads. Team foul number 2 on the Tigers. As Mike Eads in definite foul trouble now.
Mike Eads is the only Princeton player in foul trouble. The only other player for Princeton with more than 1 is Stephon Murray with 2.
The Tigers' outside shooting is not being effective tonight. So we got a timeout on the floor. The Tigers call timeout with 6:42 left to play in the ball game. Princeton 45, Beckley 43. We'll be back right after this.
And we're back at Princeton High School with 6:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Princeton is ahead by a very slim 2 points, 45-43. And we're back to Glenn May.
Well, Beckley's on the free throw line, though, Bob, so they can erase that 2-point lead.
Well, you're right. And on the night, free throw-wise, Princeton in the third quarter had for the game, made 7 of 11 foul shots, and Beckley had made 8 of 10. So both teams are making their foul shots.
You might note, too, the young man on the free throw line, Ron Kidd, is right now 5 for 6 from the free throw line. So he very well could tie it out.
He's almost the size, man, that's got to put it up underhanded to get it there, you know?
Sure is.
He's I don't know, what do you weigh? 125 pounds.
Maybe right on 125.
Ronnie Kidd on the line for Beckley, firing the first one. It is in and out. Good on, handy. There's Anthony. Ronnie Kidd on the free throw line to fire again. He puts it up. It's good. 45-44. The Tigers up by 1 now. Just St. Clair with it in the backcourt for the Tigers. Ronnie Kidd puts some heat on him. He gets it to Harmon. Harmon in the front court. Bill starts to the corner. Goes to the baseline. Fires off the iron. No good. Rebound to Kidd. Out to Edmonds on the fly. As Edmonds goes down, lays it up. Got it. He is fouled. And the foul call on Harmon. St. Clair was in that foul up also, but the foul charged to Harmon. That bucket was good, and he'll have a free throw. One shot. Foul number 2 on Harmon. Team foul number 3 on Princeton. 45-46. The Beckley Flying Eagles just took a 1-point lead over the Tigers, and they can make it 2 with the free throw here by Jerry Edmonds. As Edmonds on the free throw line. Ready to fire. He'll shoot 1. Edmonds fires. It is off the back iron. No good. Rebound. Brought down by Dennis Goodson, and he is fouled. Rebound brought down by Boggs, and he was fouled.
Foul call on number 12, Jeff.
St. Clair, that's number 2 on Jeff. Team foul number 4 on the Tigers, and it'll be out of bounds to the Flying Eagles. That's not a shooting foul. Well, they are going. How are they shooting at one?
He would never release the ball. I can't see it was
foul on the rebound.
And it's not on. They're not on the bonus.
We'll have Jeff Boggs on the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. He fires the first one. It is off the iron. No good. Rebound. Murray has to take it away as Edmonds comes out with it for Beckley. Gives it out to Kidd. Back to Edmonds. Top of the key with it. 46-45. Tigers trail by 1 as Boggs fires from outside. No good. Tipped up by Goodson. Puts the shot up. Blocked by Edmonds. Pulled down the far side by Goodson. Gives it outside to Edmonds to Kidd as Beckley controlling now. They've got the throttle. As Jerry Edmonds out front with the ball for the Flying Eagles. Into the corner with it to Ball. Ball puts underneath, gives it back outside to Edmonds, and Edmonds dribbling with it. Starts in on Harmon, gives it to Ball deep in the corner. Ball throws it overhead, gives it back outside to Edmonds to Kidd on the near side. As they'll wait for the good shot. As they lead by 1. Tigers. As Ball's with the ball top of the key now for Beckley to Edmonds. Edmonds on the wing right side to Kidd on the near side. As Kidd on the move with it. They double team him, gives it outside to Edmonds. Edmonds on the dribble. The ball's on the far side on the wing position. As they come out and set it all up again. As Ronnie Kidd comes out, puts the ball on the hip, calls the play. Starts it toward the right side, directs traffic with it. They go into the post tonight. Works on Miller, can't get the shot off, gives it back outside to Edmonds. Firing from the left side off the glass, no good. We got a whistle and a foul underneath. That's on Miller. That's number 2 on Jimmy.
Number 40, Jimmy Miller, the Tigers.
And it will put Vernon Knight on the free throw line for the Flying Eagles. 46-45. Tigers trail by 1 with 5:14 to play in the ball game. Vernon Knight on the line for the Flying Eagles to shoot a 1-and-1. Knight fires. It is short, no good. Rebound tipped around by Miller, pulled out by DeWitt. Gets it to Harmon. To St. Clair, and the Tigers come to the offense now, needing a bucket. St. Clair to the front court, to the left side, to Harmon. We got a whistle underneath. And foul called underneath on Dennis Goodson. That's number 3 on Goodson. Team foul number 4 on the Flying Eagles. It'll be out of bounds for the Tigers. As Harmon inbounds it to DeWitt. DeWitt gives it to St. Clair. St. Clair gives it back to Harmon. Harmon gives it back to St. Clair. They look underneath. Nothing happening under there. The pass coming over to Murray, knocked loose by the Flying Eagles and out of bounds. And it will be Princeton ball. As the official speaks to the Beckley bench. And Harmon inbounds it to St. Clair. St. Clair top of the key with it. So Harmon on the right side wing position. Goes to Witt in the lane. Witt fires. It is good. And we're going to whistle a foul. As the Witt staying with it, put it up and got it. And the foul on Knight. Beckley. 47-46. That's number 4. That's number 3 on Knight. And team foul number 5 on the Flying Eagles. So the Tigers will go bonus now. With James DeWitt on the line, he'll shoot 1. DeWitt fires. It is on the iron. No good. Rebound. Pulled down by the Flying Eagles. Gets it out to Ronnie Kidd. And Kidd moves it to the front court. And Frank underneath. That's up by Miller. Leaves it on to St. Clair. St. Clair on the break. Goes down. Puts it up. He is fouled. Fouled hard by Jeff Boggs. St. Clair's up. That's number 4 on Boggs. And team foul number 6. That'll put St. Clair on the line. He'll shoot 2 on that anyway. If we had a 4-man race, 3 maroon jerseys and St. Clair going down that lane that time. And St. Clair putting the ball up, taking the foul. St. Clair on the line now. He'll shoot 2. 47-46. Tigers up by 1. St. Clair fires it good. He'll have a second attempt. 48-46. 4:35 up to play in the game. The Tigers up by 2. And St. Clair will have another attempt. St. Clair fires. It's 49-46. Tigers up by 3, and they'll press now. And we should have a traveling call. Last time we got a traveling call on Jerry Edmonds. As they were leaning against each other, but Edmonds was moving his feet to get into leaning position.
I think he was trying to get Stefan to foul him from behind, and then he moved his feet in the process.
And we got a timeout called by the Flying Eagles. So with 4:33 left to play in the ball game, Princeton 49, Beckley 46. Let's take 30 seconds for this.
We're back at Princeton High School with 4:33 to go in the game with the score 49-46. Princeton up by 3 points. And one group that often doesn't get mentioned, and they work very hard, they work very diligently, and they also get involved in a lot of athletics, a lot of conditioning, and that's the Princeton cheerleaders. And we were noting up here that the cheerleaders are in new uniforms this year and doing an excellent job for Princeton. Ann, would you like to comment on the uniforms for either the Tigers or the cheerleaders?
Yes, both the Tiger team and the Tiger cheerleaders are sporting new uniforms. Both are very attractive uniforms. The Tiger team, naturally, Coach Ralph Ball picks those out, and the Tiger cheerleaders are directed. They're under the sponsorship of Mrs. Carol Fowler, and she does a good job with the girls, and they look sharp tonight.
We'll try to set those cheerleaders for halftime interview this season to get them all on the air.
Right.
All right, Tigers ready to go. Inbound pass to DeWitt. Drops to Miller on the baseline. Dribbles, fires, good. Jimmy Miller taking it to the hook. 51-46. Tigers up by 5 now. Ronnie Kidd takes it to the front court, and we got him rolling the ball, and that is traveling. He lost control of the dribble. Maybe it did start the floor. I don't know, but anyway, they called him for a travel. It'll be Tiger ball. As Harmon inbounds it to St. Clair. St. Clair will bring it to the front court for the Tigers now. St. Clair holds it way out front to pull the Eagles out of that 2-1-2 zone. As they wait for him to come out and match up. St. Clair gives the ball to Harmon. Harmon to the width, top of the key, firing the line off the iron, no good. Rebound to the floor, picked up, scramble, and we'll have a jump ball. Harmon's in the middle of that foul, and he's in there with Vernon. Is that Knight? Knight. Okay, Vernon Knight and Bill Harmon. Will jump it in the free throw circle. 4:04 left to play in the ball game. Tigers up by 5, and this game is seesawed wildly. As the official moves in now, waiting for the toss. And the tip controlled by the Eagles. Is pulling it down is Ball. Ball gets it to Edmonds. Edmonds takes it to the front court for Beckley. Still on the dribble with it. To Kidd. Ronnie on the near side. Gives it back to Edmonds on the far side. Into the corner with it. The ball firing off. He got it. From 20 feet. Hit down with the ball on the net. 51-48. Tigers up by 3. St. Clair works it to the front court for the Tigers. To DeWitt on the wing, left side. Gives it back to St. Clair at the point position. Gives it back to DeWitt. He'll fire from 18 feet off the iron. No good. Miller tip. No good. And it in and out on the tip. Rebound pulled down by Beckley. Ronnie Kidd with it to the front court for Beckley. To Edmonds. Edmonds gives it back outside to Kidd. Works on Harmon. Gives it back outside to Edmonds. Edmonds comes to the top of the key with it. To Kidd on the wing position right side. Gives it back to Edmonds. He'll come to the near side with it. Back to Kidd. As Kidd starts it down the right side, the ball's flying off the baseline. He's got it. Ball. Yes, ball. Hits it for Beckley. 51-50 now. The Tiger lead suddenly disappears. DeWitt takes it for the Tigers. Into the lane. Drops it to Miller. Starts underneath. Moves it out of bounds.
Taking back in for the Tigers, number 10.
Mike Eads comes in, and Bill Harmon will get a breather for the Tigers. That'll be Beckley ball, and Tigers want a timeout. So with 3 minutes and 1 second to play in the ball game, Princeton 51, Beckley 50. We'll be back right after this.
And we're back at Princeton High School with 3:01 to go and a 51-50 ball game. And I think the closing score indicates that those of you who weren't able to come should try to come out tomorrow night to the 2 ball games that'll be played tomorrow night.
And momentum is a very important factor. Who's got it right now?
I honestly believe that calling timeouts is an art that some coaches have, some coaches don't. And calling timeouts at just the right time to either break momentum or to get that momentum going is something that many coaches, I think, ever apply to life.
I always use timeouts to catch my breath. I got tired.
The official just indicated that Princeton has 1 timeout left and Beckley has 2 left for the ball game.
Okay, as the Tigers will press now. It's Kidd with the ball for Beckley in the backcourt. Racing with it. Gets it to the front court. Waits for traffic to clear. Gives it to Edmonds on the near side. Jerry starts it down the left side. Moves it back toward the top of the key. On the dribble with it. Working on East. And now he picks up the dribble. Gets it to the left side. To Goodson. Goodson has it knocked loose as Miller picks it out here. As he deflects the pass, Jimmy comes up with the ball. Gets it to St. Clair. And Jeff will take it to the front court now for the Tigers with 2 minutes, 35 seconds to play in the ball game. Tigers up by 1 point. As Beckley into that 2-1-2 zone. And the Tigers out front. Eads with the ball on the right side. Starts on the dribble with it. Works on Edmonds. Has it knocked loose. Picked up by Beckley. Edmonds moves down. Works on St. Clair. Puts it up and in. Got it. Beckley goes on top. 52-51. 2:15 to play. St. Clair comes to the front court with it for the Tigers. To the right side of the wick. Goes to the baseline. Fires. Off the iron. No good. Rebound. Pulled down by Beckley. Gets it out to Kidd, and Kidd waits for traffic to clear. Now he'll send it to the front court, and Beckley wants to tie out. With 2 minutes left to play, Beckley 52, Princeton 51. We're going to hold it right here. Let's talk a little bit about that momentum right now. And the Beckley Flying Eagles have the momentum.
They certainly do. They've got a 1-point lead, and that coupled with momentum is a big factor right now.
And the ball.
2 minutes with the 2-minute warning on us.
And well, Beckley's got the ball. If they come down and eat 30 to 36 seconds off the clock, get a good shot, get a bucket, go up by 3,
sure.
The Tigers have got a pretty tough road to hoe.
They sure do. And both teams having 1 timeout left, I believe that could turn into a factor also.
I would think Beckley would maybe slow this ball down, but Princeton led 51-46, so Beckley has scored the last 6 points in this ball game.
That's true. I agree with you. I think Beckley will slow it down. I think they'll slow it down and get only the very good shot. They'll kick balls from that baseline or lay up out of the lane. And Boggs has been deadly the last 10 times he's put it up.
And I'd say they'll try to eat a little bit of that clock, but they don't want to. Momentum is a factor. They don't want to slow down too much.
That's right. They don't want to sit on it and get it out of control. So
right.
I think they'll look for that. I think they'll work the ball, but they'll look for the good shot, but they'll not take. If they take a bad shot, their coach is going to be very upset.
Right.
We're ready to go. 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Beckley 52, Princeton 51. It'll be Beckley ball in the backcourt. As the Tigers will press, they get it into Ronnie Kidd. As Ronnie on the dribble with it, moving it to the front court for Beckley. St. Clair puts pressure on him. Kidd dribbling out front now. St. Clair still with him. Beats comes over to cut him off. They give it to Edmonds. Edmonds with the ball. Comes around St. Clair. Starts it into the lane. Miller heads him off. Gives it over to Knight, and they get it back out to Jerry Green. Robert Green. Green gives it back to Edmonds. Edmonds runs over top of St. Clair. No whistle. They go through balls on the baseline. And Miller calls for goaltending. As Jeff Ball put that shot above the baseline, and Miller went right over top the rim and striked it away. 54-51 with a minute 33 to play in the ballgame. Tigers down by 3 as St. Clair to the front court with it to East. Flying out a corner, left it short. Rebound to the Whit. He should be fouled from behind by Knight. Oh, at the 4 on Knight, I would have rather had the Whit put that ball back up in and be fouled for the 3-point play. And that'll put James DeWitt on the free throw line to shoot a 1-on-1. Now, he was fouled while he was still on the floor. There will be a 1-on-1 there. And James DeWitt on the line for the Tigers to shoot a 1-on-1. He fires the first one. It is on the iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by Beckley. A minute 24 to play. Tigers trail by 3. Beckley has the ball as Edmonds with it in the front court for the Eagles. Dribbling with it. Moves it down the left side. Still dribbling with it. As they cut him off, gives it outside to Ronnie Kidd. Ronnie Kidd directs from traffic. Goes back, draws court to the far side. Gives it to Robert Green. As Green comes way outside and holds the ball. Turns it to the left side to Kidd. Kidd way out front with it now. Comes across the lane, down into the lane. Has a knock loose. Picked up by the Whip. The Whip loses it. Picked up by the Flying Eagles. As Ball comes out with it. 52 seconds to play in the ballgame. The Tigers trail by 3. As Edmonds with the ball for Beckley. Starts it into the lane. The ball from the far side. Takes it back outside the Kidd into Robert Green. And they whip it around the horn. The Eagles filling the clock now with 38 seconds to play in the ballgame. Tigers trail by 3 as they desperately need that ball. St. Clair fouls Jerry Edmonds. And then the foul number 3 on Jeff St. Clair. With 34 seconds to play in the ballgame. Beckley 54. Preston 51. That will put Jerry Edmonds on the free throw line to shoot the 1-on-1 for the Flying Eagles.
Edmonds has only made 2 of 4 foul shots, so he's shooting 50% at the foul line.
And the Tigers spin their last timeout. So, we got 34 seconds left to play in the ballgame. Beckley 54, Preston 51. Let's take 30 seconds for this. To play, the outcome of the game is certainly in danger of bringing the loss off for the Tigers, down 54 to 51 with 34 seconds. And you and Robertson here with me watching the game. The momentum shifted to Beckley somewhere midway through that fourth quarter, and the Tigers have not been able to get it back.
Right, I would even go so far as to say the momentum shifted toward Beckley early in the third quarter, and then Princeton regained it for a little while, but then it shifted back full force toward where they rested guys.
Well, I guess I agree, except I don't know that Princeton really regained it. They neutralized it for a while.
Right.
And Beckley kept right on coming, though. Jerry Edmonds on the free throw line for Beckley. He'll have a 1-on-1. Very important now. He fires the first one, it's good. He'll have a second attempt. That puts the Flying Eagles up by 4 now, 55-51 with 34 seconds left to play in the ballgame. And Edmonds on the line to shoot 1 more. As you watch the byplay between Eads and Robert Green, as he fires, no good. Rebound to Jimmy Miller. Gets it out to Mike Eads to St. Clair. St. Clair to the front court with it with 29 seconds. To Eads. Goes to the baseline. Gets it back outside to St. Clair. Has a knock loose. Picked up by Eads. Drives the baseline. Goes under. Fires. It is good. And we got a short shot. The Flying Eagles, bleeding lip. He got hit by Feely down there.
I believe that's Jeff Ball. It is Jeff Ball.
They should have injured him somewhere about the middle of the third quarter. 55-51 now. Beckley will have the ball on baseline. Preston into a desperation press. John Osberger kicks into the ball game. As inbound pass comes to Ronnie Kidd. He gets it back to Jeff Ball. To Edmonds into the front row with it for Green. As Green has fouled by Osbarger. And that's all the Tigers can do is foul. They cannot just let the Eagles run the clock out. 55-51. Tigers trail by 4 with 13 seconds to play. Tigers out of timeout. They can't use that to help. 55-51, Tigers free on the rubber string on the free throw line for Beckley. He fires it, it's no good. Pulled down by Vernon Knight of Beckley, and he is fouled as he went back up. And that foul on the hit, I believe.
It's on Stephon Murray.
Oh, it is good. And on James, foul number 1. And that was Vernon Knight on the free throw line for the Beckley Flying Eagles.
That is 0 for 1. It is only attempt time.
7 seconds to play. The Tigers trail by 4, 55-51. Nice fires off the eye, no good. Miller rebounds. Holds it overhead, gets it out to Osbarger. John takes it to the front court for the Tigers from the top of the key. Firing from 20 feet. Off the eye, no good. Rebound pulled down by Beckley. And Falk comes out with it. Dropped it to Edmonds and the buzzer. The ball game is over. And the final score, Beckley Flying Eagles 55. The Princeton Tigers 51. And then the final quarter. Is that right? The Tigers only got 6 points in that fourth quarter.
That's right. They were at 45 at the end of the third quarter and wound up with 51.
The Flying Eagles got 13. We'll be back right after this. Final score of the ball game. The Beckley Flying Eagles 55. The Princeton Tigers 51. As Princeton put together a quarter of 21 points, 14 points, 10 points, and 6 points as they saw their scoring zero each quarter, dropping Beckley meanwhile at 11 points, 14, 17, and 13. Final score, Beckley 55, Princeton 51. We're welcoming you to the wrap-up show. Brought to you on AM Band by Princeton Bank on the FM by Knee-High. And we'll be back with more wrap-up right after this. As the Tigers defeated here tonight 55-51 by the Beckley Flying Eagles. And let's remind you now, the Beckley team will play Northfork tomorrow night at about 9 o'clock. Meanwhile, at 7 o'clock, the Princeton Tigers will take on the Woodbridge Vikings. In that game, the tip-off will be at 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 10 minutes off 7. And Ted, you and Teresa, would you please make note of that? Make sure the logs are caught up for us. We'll be signing on at 10 minutes till 7. Game time tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. The Tigers see their record fall to 1-1 on the season. And momentum, the big thing, the Tigers got 21 points in the first quarter, 14 in the second, 10 in the third, 6 in the fourth. They just can't win like that.
No way. No team can win that way. They came out like a house on fire early in the game. It seemed like they might blow it away early in the game. And once Beckley gained their composure, got their feet on the ground, and started to control things, they definitely controlled the pace. And once that pace was controlled, momentum turned toward the Flying Eagles.
Beckley has an awful lot of team speed.
They sure do.
Lift our hearts, lift our strains, let's revere our school of fame, ever true, loyal, true, for our colors white and blue. Dear Princeton High School, our love, our pride, we've always held you as our shining guide, our joys, our sorrows, hopes, dreams, and fears. We shared in PHS halls, we'll live through coming years. Lift our hearts, lift our strains, let's revere our school of fame, ever true.